Welcome to Social Distance Warriors and Vampire Squid present Grimmfest Short Chat 2. Freddy's Nightmare, I guess. I didn't want to do an Electric Boogaloo joke. It feels done at this stage.
It is very done. And it's been co-opted by the far right as well, hasn't it?
Oh, lovely. Right, then we'll just go with the quickening, like Highlander. There can only be one, but there will be 3 films. We are here. I am Thom B, and this is Kirstie Summers, writers of Vampire Squid and hosts of Social Distance Warriors. And we are here to talk to even more short film creators for Grimmfest, because Grimmfest have given us all a little Easter treat and added 4 new shorts to their shorts program for Thursday, the 1st of April, as a little cheers for supporting us, I suppose. And it's all people who have done stuff with Grimmfest in the past, so it's like a Grimmfest All-Stars.
It's going to be so exciting.
That's what I imagine the judging panel is like, just Michelle.
Yeah. I mean, with kind of indie horror content, as well, Thom, you'll know, like we've both been sent some absolute stinkers to review. It can be very hit and miss.
No.
And I think Grimmfest do an incredible job every single year of wading through all of the kind of misses and just finding the hits that work so well. I'm really, really excited to talk to like more people who have put together stuff that's made it.
Love watching you try and find polite ways to say shit. It's like, it's not my stream, don't swear. But
no. It's not swearing that's the problem. I just don't like insulting indie creators.
Yeah, I get that.
I know how difficult it is, and I know the effort and the time and the passion that goes in. And I like, there are times when you think this idea had potential. I love the thought of it. I just wish you'd had the budget and the resources to realize what you were going for. Because that's kind of where a lot of, I think, disappointment comes from when it comes to very small budget, independently produced things. But then also, you know, occasionally you do get one where it's just like, why did anyone think this was a good idea long enough to finish it? But I feel that way about a lot of like big blockbuster Hollywood films, but then I forget. Like, you know, when something's like produced so well, you forget that it's actually bad. You're just like, that looked really good.
That was a handsome turd.
But made no fucking sense. You don't get that with like indie films, because sometimes you do. Yeah, sometimes you do. If they've really massively prioritized the budget wrong. But no, Grimmfest is one of those like really, really trustworthy festivals where you just know everything they've got. Regardless of what kind of subsection of horror you're into, there's gonna be something for you, because they just find these really creative, really brilliant people. I'm very, very excited to see what's coming up this Easter.
And in fairness, one of my biggest criticisms of a lot of like indie film projects is usually, this would have been a much better short. So, like, logically speaking, we should be all right because it's all shorts. It's all we've got. So there have been 4 shorts announced, and that is Don't Go Outside, #Meow2, Transfer, and The Gloom. And with us, we have got 3 of those. We've got Don't Go Outside, #Meow2, and Transfer. And I believe we've got our first guest here.
I'm very excited.
Very excited.
Who's our first guest?
Our first guest is Natasha Halevi of Don't Go Outside.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Seamless.
How are you? Wow, the jackets are just everything.
Thank you.
I love it.
How are you?
So good. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to chat with you.
On. So do you want to tell us about the short film you bring into Grimmfest?
Yeah, totally. I'm so excited about this short film. It's kind of the first thing I've done where like all the weight is like off my shoulders about like what it is and is it scary enough and is it good enough, because I took a Super 8 camera out to the desert in California, the Mojave Desert, the Joshua Tree area, by myself on my birthday. And not by myself. I had 2 cats with me. My cats came also.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
They're very
credit where credit's due.
And I just, I had an idea for the place I was going to be, and I took my time. It actually took me a couple days to shoot it because I shot it by myself. So I'd have to like set things up and like go run over here, like come back and put a stand up and put like tape on it for my eyes and whatever, all of it, like just let a lot of the pressure go away about what it was going to be and what it was supposed to be. And what it turned out to be was exactly everything that like I want my kind of filmmaking to be. So it worked to just like let all the stuff go. And I'm super excited about it. So it's a weird, I don't know, did I answer any of your question at all about what it is? It is a short film that was shot out in the desert with me and my cats.
That sounds like a great film already. I don't even need to know the story. Like, I'm here for it.
We put my cat on our merch. It's like, you've said cats, and we're just like, yes.
Yeah.
That was everything.
Yeah.
So what made you want to just disappear out into the desert with 2 cats and a camera and make a film?
What would make you want to do that?
That feels like a stupid question. Like, why would I want to do anything else now that I've said it?
I don't.
But was there anything specific apart from generally that being a bloody amazing idea?
I think, we'd all been sort of trapped for this past year. We've all dealt with like a lot of different thoughts and situations and new understanding of being alone and what that means and how to have fun with that. And also, I'm sure we've all had all sorts of roller coasters this past year. So my husband, I have spent most of this year on like basically lockdown in a house with my husband. And like, don't get me wrong, having somebody for this whole time has been wonderful, but also you guys 24/7. So he was away on a film, which was a bigger film being shot in Sydney during this year. While he was away, I actually, for the first time, had my first like alone time during quarantine. And the desert seemed like just already it has this natural solitude to it. And I hadn't really had an outlet to be like creative because all of my filmmaking, colleagues and friends and partners all were also just kind of not doing anything and staying inside. So I was like, I'll just do something by myself and go like sit in the solitude of what this year is and like have a glass of champagne on my birthday, a bottle, and pull out a camera.
Cool. So did you go into it kind of with an idea of the film you were going to make when you came out?
Yes. I didn't write it as a script. I wrote it like as notes in my phone. But it pretty much follows when I went back to edit, like it really does follow exactly like beat by beat, exactly what I wanted it to be. As I kind of put those notes together in my phone. So on one hand, like, oh, it was no big deal. Like I just put something together by myself. And on the other hand, like I really did have a clear vision of what I wanted to be. I knew where I was going to be. So I knew what I wanted the shots to look like. And I knew that shooting it on Super 8 was going to give it like this quality that was going to like, be a little forgiving in some ways and also be more demanding in other ways. So I did like map that out, and it really, it was really fun to see it like come out exactly as planned, but cooler.
What was it like shooting on Super 8 as well? Because Super 8 is incredibly temperamental when it wants to be.
It is. And I'd borrowed a camera that I'd not used before. It was a Canon, an old Canon. And of course, they're all a little finicky. And there are all sorts of little weird tweaky things about it. Like there's, Super 8 is naturally very shaky, but also it's shaky because it's picking up the vibrations of the camera. So the older the camera is, the shakier it gets, the less maintained it's been. And if you don't really like lock down your tripod, like some of the shots I would tilt up and then like kind of lock it real fast and like run into place. So I hadn't like locked it hard enough, and those shots would be like a little like roller coaster ride. So like it's finicky and it picks up light in a weird way. Here's something that I definitely discovered: when you're looking, it through the camera, you're blocking the light. Super 8 is just shooting onto film, so you're blocking the light through that little lens. That little viewfinder like will actually let light come through it and start to desaturate your picture because it's actually hitting the film. So I learned to, I'd kind of heard that and I tried to block it, but there were some shots that just had like a little too much light coming through and actually like sort of degrading the quality of the light bouncing into the camera through the actual lens or something like that. That was my technical talk on cameras. Anybody who knows anything about cameras right now is like, oh my God, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
Did you run into any other kind of like challenges while you're out there that you didn't expect?
Coyotes, snakes, like there were some things out there that were pretty weird. Sometimes my cats really would want to get a little more involved than I wanted them to. And I'd be pretty fearful that the camera was going to get knocked over. But otherwise, it's really nice. When you're shooting something by yourself, you're like, well, I'll just take my time. If it takes me 2 hours to set up this shot, it takes me 2 hours and nobody's riding me like, hurry up. It's just like, all right, I'll just keep doing it. So it was pretty mellow.
Yeah, I imagine that's quite freeing as well. Just in your own time, so long as there's no coyotes about.
Yes. There's no sound on Super 8. So all the sound is done in post. And the frame rates are, even when you shoot at 24 frames per second, like it's just not really 24 frames per second because these cameras are older cameras and they have to literally speed, so when you're shooting digitally now today, someone says camera speeds. Well, that camera probably just turned on pretty quickly because it's digital, but like cameras need to speed the film in order to get up to 24 frames per second. So matching the sound, there's no way to match the sound. So you just like, it's all, you do it all separate because there's no point in even trying to match the sound to the footage. Shooting, you also don't have like remotes, it's not like I could be like, okay, now I'm acting. Like I had to like, get it all set up and like push things and like run over. So I should do a cut of just the like me running around while I've like pushed it and I'm trying to like get into place because I don't know what that film would be about, but it would be enjoyable to watch.
That sounds like the most fun little blooper reel going. This is like you running between bits and like your cat causing chaos.
Yes. But it's all with like a weird frame rate. So it's like
a couple of digital explosions here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, was that practical? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So you're bringing obviously your short to Grimmfest. What are your kind of hopes for the film? Like, what do you hope people will take from it? How do you hope it does at the festival? You got any plans for it going forward?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Grimmfest is its premiere because I love Grimmfest. I wish I could be there in real life. Everyone does, I'm sure, but like it's such a rad group of humans and such cool content. And so that's this beginning of its festival run. I have a feature film that I'm shooting in August. That's a script that came to me that I'm so excited about. That's a horror, and having this short in place already has been so helpful for me to convey like the kind of look and feel that I want for this film that my other shorts just didn't do it that same way. So even though it won't be shot on Super 8 and we will have sound and it will be shot with an actual crew, like it really helps. It helps to have something to teach, to not teach, to like share your language and develop your language and be like, this is my film language. This is how I know how to talk in film. And I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's really great to hear.
That was like, like, oh my God, shut up. Okay, but really, that's how I feel.
Perfect. That's what you need. I believe that is all we've got time for from the first interview, because this is the speed chats, and it's intensely quick.
Faster.
I know, and I already talk very fast.
But thank you so much.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure having you.
And you can catch. Go on. You do that before I do the plug.
No,
oh, sick. All right, awesome. Oh, it's all good. You can catch Don't Go Outside for free on Thursday the 1st of April, because all of these are free. That's the present part. Probably should have mentioned that right at the top of the show.
Oh, yeah.
But please, one more time for Natasha. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Love your jackets.
Thank you
so much. We're going to move very swiftly on to our next one, assuming that they are in the waiting room. They are. We've just got the confirmation. We have got Ryan Kruger on another cat theme. #meow2. I have misread this as Mewtwo 7 times, and I'm very happy I said it properly. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. And yourselves?
Yeah,
not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad at all.
Good. You guys look cool. I feel like I need a jacket now as well.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you to say. Would you like to tell us about the short film you're bringing to Grimmfest?
Yeah. So #meow2 is basically like a revenge film, and the kind of end thing is like, don't mess with women, but it's that that take on the #meow2 movement with the sexual abusers, and it's basically based in the near future where we live amongst cat people, and it's basically about this cat girl that goes out, and she goes out for a drink, and then she gets hit on by this sleazy film producer, and from there everything takes her back, has a drink with her, and then everything kind of unfolds. I don't want to say too much more than that, but it's basically girl that goes out, meets this sleazy producer, and he won't take no for an answer, and she goes back to his place, and then she wants to leave, and then he doesn't want to let her leave, and then it kind of really unfolds, and the story like twists and turns basically from there. But it's a 6-minute film. It's a very experimental, arty sort of film, but got a good message. To it, and it's really just it's actually a part of. It's been a 4.5-year project where I've been making 8 experimental films over the past 4.5 years. And this is, I think it's the fourth film. So after each one's done, I'll send it to festivals. So this is actually, this will be the actual world premiere at Grimmfest.
Oh, that's really exciting. How does this film, like, is there like a running theme through all of the shorts? Like, how does it connect to the others you've done so far?
Not really, no. Everything's more, everything's kind of really individual. So none of them are really connected. But for me, the reason why I started these experimental films was I'm normally known in South Africa as a music video director. So, and doing music videos, it's one of those things where I'm very lucky I can do what I want within the music videos and come up with my concepts. But at the same time, I'm kind of still in a box in a sense of, this is the style of music that I have to make a music video for, and it has to get on TV, and I've got to do it for the right audience. Yeah. So the reason why I started these experimental films was that I can do whatever the hell that I want, and I can really put my my stamp and my style on stuff where I don't have to listen to anybody else and just do what the fuck I want, basically, which is amazing. Which was nice.
That's what you want.
So what about horror short inspired by the Me Too movement and also cat people? Where did that idea come from? and like what about it is like, yeah, that's my stamp.
I would like to see them.
Have you guys seen the film yet?
Not yet.
We've been sent it, but not had time to watch it yet. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain. There's not completely one thing that points at my style and stuff like that. Whether it's just like the cat thing or whatever. I have a cat. I love cats. It's not just about cats though, but it's you know what I mean. It's really just it's everything. It's the way I shoot stuff, the sound design, and just the overall feel for it. And a lot of these experimentals that I've been making, a lot of them haven't even got dialogue in, or it has like one line of dialogue. So it's very much like an experience. To watch it, and it's normally quite trippy, fast editing, or just a really surreal sort of weird, dreamy feel to it. So that's kind of my thing. But the horror elements and stuff like that, I love 80s horror. So for me, a lot of the work that I do is influenced with 80s films, whether it's John Carpenter or David Cronenberg or stuff like that. So it's like a dark side to either characters and like an overall theme. But it's always based on characters. So I love like shooting characters. So last year with Grimmfest, I released my first feature, Fry Barry. So also had the UK premiere at Grimmfest. So
it was batshit crazy. It's like it's so good. If you haven't seen Fry Barry, it's just been bought by Shudder. Go watch it. Yeah. That's well done, by the way.
Thanks. So we'll with you, Thom, checking Fry Barry. So watching that, that sort of that style and lighting and editing, and it's really just out there, and it's just crazy. So it's cool to get and to do what I want to do instead of having like guidelines. Like I said, going back to the music videos and shooting those bands and stuff like that. So I've with my career, it's always been heading towards feature films. I've done a shitload of short films before and a shitload of music videos, but at the same time, it's always been the bigger picture to shoot the feature film. And even with Meow 2, the thing is with this film as well is that I actually shot this before Fry Barry. So when I actually shot it before Fry Barry, but the whole process obviously is, I was busy working on Fry Barry. So I actually shot it before Fry Barry. Then I started working on Fry Barry, and that became a thing where the same guy that was doing the sound and editing was the same people working on Meow 2. So I had to put Meow 2 on a back burner until Fry Barry was done. So yeah.
Has when you had that long pause between starting it and finishing it, did your perception of how it was gonna turn out change at all, or have you had a consistent picture of what you want from this film the whole time?
Yeah. So I mean, it's been I normally have I normally get exactly what I want, in the sense of that I'll always have that vision of what it should be, what I wanted. But I think with the distance and time, I think the cool thing was that we shot the film, we edited it, and then we didn't do any sound. So then it's been probably through the middle of making Fry Barry, Meow 2 was graded. So the colorist did all the grading on it. And then only recently, over the past month or two, all the sound design was done. So it's just it was weird to obviously go back so far. I've never actually done that before. So it was quite crazy, but I had to put all my time and energy into Fry Barry at the time. And even talking to you guys about another film apart from Fry Barry, because that's all I've done this whole fucking year, the whole of last year and the whole of this year, it has just been talking about Fry Barry. So it's actually quite nice to to talk about another film for a change, even though it's a short. But it's nice to to go into that, and instead of keep talking about Fried Barry. I don't mind talking about Fried Barry, but it's one of those things where at one point it was like 5 weeks. 5 weeks straight, 4 or 5 interviews a day. It was insane. It was crazy. So yeah.
Well, I was trying to say, like, Fried Barry started as a short. You could be talking about Meow 2 for the next 4 years.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the funny thing is with as well with me with Fried Barry the short, that's a part of this collection, and the only reason why I released the short was because of the feature. But Fried Barry the short was the first one out of this collection. Which is funny. And at that time, I also didn't know I was going to make, a feature out of it. It just did really well and had all that fan art. So it was funny how that developed. And at the same time, going back to, wanting to make different things and different projects, and to do this 4.5 year project, the funny thing was, at the time, doing all the music videos and trying to stop that. Because if you don't stop something, you're just going to keep doing it. You're just going to keep working on the music videos. And if you don't stop at some point and go, right, now I have to put all my energy into this. And if I don't put all my energy into this, then you're just going to be taking the phone calls, doing more music videos. So at that time, I had a big job that I could have done instead of Fried Barry the short. And my DP at the time was going, let's do this video. It's a good paid job. Let's do it. And I was like, it's just not into it. I'm over it and this and this. And I was like, I've got this little short idea that I want to do. And instead of doing the big job, I did, Fried Barry the shorts and started this collection of experimentals. So it's funny how something like that happens, where if I did that other video, I might have never have, started these experimental films, which is great,
Yeah, it seems like it really has paid off for you, and you've ended up going in a really, really good direction with it. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. Unfortunately, we are at the end of the time that we have with you.
Jeez, these fly by, don't they?
I'm so excited about this weird little film you've done. It's fantastic. I can't wait to watch it. But thank you so much, everyone. So much. Loving the chat for Ryan.
Hey,
thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And as before, it's also Thursday at 1 p.m. for free. So watch it. You've no excuse, quite frankly. It's fucking free. We are up to our final guest, which is Mad. I feel like we've only just started, but that's lovely. Very nice. And so last up, we've got some prison possession with Jonas Gervais.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm well. Whoa. Hi, everybody.
Hey. So why don't you tell us about your film Transfer?
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's
straight. We've only got 10 minutes. It's just straight to business. We'll make jokes in a bit. It'll be fine.
So it was part of a TV series where a couple of directors were invited, writer-directors teams were invited to think up a story that was all in the same location, like a prison visiting room, basically. And you were basically free. It was a Corona-proof concept. So there was, they came up with the location. If you could think of a story that was like about 10 to 12 minutes long, you were, and it was chosen, and you got to you shoot your short there. That's it.
Ooh, that's really cool. So how did you come up with your idea?
I was already working with an American writer, a guy called Joey O'Brien, who did this very sadistic one-location horror movie called Downrage a few years ago. And we've been in touch since I contacted him through Facebook. And I basically said, because one of my favorite films is Lost Highway, and without giving away too much, there's a prison scene in that has a kind of a similar idea going on. So that was my pitch to Joey, like, could we do something similar to that? And apart from that, I worked as a second unit director on Color Out of Space, the Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh, nice.
Which was tentacle, cosmic horror. So I wanted to do something with that as well. So those two things together became my short.
I would like to replace the word Lovecraftian with just tentacle cosmic horror. Like that's all. I will strip over the fact he was a racist homophobe and just go straight to what it actually is.
So how did you come to what was the creative process like for combining those different influences you brought to this film?
I think I sent a Facebook chat message to Joey. He said, "I'm gonna walk my dog. Let me get back to you."
That's how me and Kirstie come up with ideas.
and actually, the gist of it, most of the story, he just dreamt up in that dog walk. So it was a very fruitful walk, I'd say. And the drafts after that were just about what was technically possible and. The details of it all, what did the tattoo look like, but the idea of what you see, he came up with that in one go, which was kind of nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And so did the vision sort of stay the same throughout the creative process? I guess because it was informed by the limitations. Was the final product kind of how you were picturing it?
The funny thing is that cosmic horror doesn't get made much because it's so expensive, because, you want worlds coming into other worlds, stuff like that. So to me, it was kind of like a challenge, okay, I only have this very limited budget and 1 day of shooting. Could I do something? And I reached out to Dan Martin, who's a special effects artist that you probably know about. He works with Ben Wheatley a lot, and he was on Colorado Space, a London-based guy. And I just pitched him the thing, and he said, "What you need is a garbage bag monster." And I was like, "What is that?" And then he sent me a video of basically something you can do with just garbage bags that are modified a little bit. You fill them with water, and basically you get these movements that are very creature-like, and it costs practically nothing. So Dan made that for me for no money. And he was supposed to come over, but again, because of COVID, I had an assistant do it over here. He just coached him from afar. But basically, yeah, you can do cosmic horror on literally a shoestring budget, it seems, yeah.
So is this film just all practical effects?
Yeah.
Well, the tentacles, let's give away that there are tentacles in it at some point. We shot those against the green screen, and then they were composited together. So, but the effects you see are practical effects, yes.
I mean, COVID-safe cosmic horror may be the greatest elevator pitch I've ever heard.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, phenomenal. I forgot what I was trying to say.
Hold on.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about bringing the film to Grimmfest?
It's the first, we were, great. That's my first answer. And this is the first little adventure this film is going on separate from the other shorts. So I was the only horror one in the collection. There were 12 shorts.
Okay.
But I know I've made a feature in the past, and I did some TV shows, and I just know that there's a worldwide, very tight-knit, is that the word? Horror community.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that I know that, when I say something about cosmic horror, you two are just like, "Oh yeah, of course."
Yeah, tentacles and shit. Got you.
Yeah. And there's not many genres, there's no rom-com festival, there's no social drama festival. There are plenty of horror festivals, which is always great.
I would go to a rom-com festival now. I love a rom-com. It'd be great. And what is it that you hope that people take away from the film after they've watched it?
Just the funny thing is that the actor, he played it like I didn't want to do anything with COVID, basically, and all of us kind of stayed away from that, even though it was but everyone's tired of those stories.
Yeah. Ages very quickly, I find.
Yes. And I'm sure we're going to get horrible Zoom horror movies. We're going to be, they're coming, all those bad movies shot during quarantine.
I've already seen a couple.
Do that. But then the actor, who's actually, you might not know him, but the lead actor is the lead in the original Vanishing, the 80s movie, the very creepy, that was remade as The Vanishing in a few years later. He was the lead in the original. He's just like an icon in our country. And he was saying yes, I'm playing this like the COVID virus. I'm playing the virus. So I was like, okay, as long as you don't say that out loud, it's fine. So he for him, it was a COVID movie. For the rest of us, it was something else.
Okay. And okay, I'm not sure how to word this. Like, I don't say do you mind, but like, do you have like a preference on like how people are going to read it? Like, do you have any expectations for how people are going to read it? Or are you just kind of interested to see what other people take from it?
Well, I like that we've created something in 10 minutes that you can't really talk about without giving something away. Yeah. I guess the overall tone was like I was going for like a creep show or like a Twilight Zone segment, like you get a nasty sting at the end. And I hope we succeeded in that. It seems we did that, but it hasn't traveled much. So I'm very curious to see if that's what people take away.
Very exciting. What is it that draws you to cosmic horror specifically?
Honestly, I wasn't that into it. It was just working on Colorado Space, and then the director of that, he basically taught me about Lovecraft, and then Dan was speaking about it. So I was more, I made a slasher before. I did some ghost stories, but it's a great new world, and I think there's a lot of cosmic horror coming our way. It's like Lovecraft is being discovered by everyone, and I feel there's a lot of Lovecraftian stuff coming. So this is my tiny contribution to that new subgenre.
To the new pantheon.
Yeah. Like how do you feel with your like little contribution to such an iconic piece of horror history in a way? Like how do you feel it's like changing and evolving kind of as each new piece sort of falls into place?
Just humbled, I guess. Because I'm still reading up on all that stuff. Like I got the light version when I was younger with Stephen King. I didn't realize that those stories were clearly nods to Lovecraft. Like things like The Mist or The Raft are very Lovecraftian, but I didn't know that at the time. So I think it's interesting because it kind of, I think because of what's happening in the world, we're going to get a lot of nature run amok movies, and I guess Lovecraftian movies kind of it's basically the universe taking revenge, and I think unfortunately it's going to be a very hip topic in movies soon. So yeah,
I think that's a very very insightful thought you've got there. But I think that brings us to the end of the time that we have with you. So thank you so much for coming on and joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute delight. So one more time, everyone, for Jonas. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And enjoy the film.
Oh, we will. It's tentacles. I'm happy.
Oh.
That's how it works. That's what. That is all we've got time for, which is mental. It's not even been an hour, but there we go. We've spoken to 3 of the 4 filmmakers. We have had. Whoa, it's all the way up here. We've had Natasha Halevi from Don't Go Outside, Ryan Kruger from Meow 2, and Jonas Devert from Transfer. You can also catch The Gloom on Thursday, the 1st of April from 4 p.m. Well, once you've got it, you have 24 hours to watch it, and it's free. So there we go. That is the most seamless plug I've ever done for anything. Right, and it's not even the main thing that I put. That's sad. But yay! Kirstie, would you like to do our plugs and our goodbyes? All
right, sure. There is a link tree to all of the Social Distance Warriors things on both the Vampire Squid YouTube channel chat right now and the Social Distance Warriors Twitch. We do shows like this on occasion, so if you enjoyed it, we'll probably do some more. We do a chat show on Thursdays where we talk to similar creators. We do talk to a musician, a comedian, and what we call our wildcard guest, which is sometimes like a writer or a juggler or a filmmaker or a game creator. It's wildcard. We also do our Sunday deep dives where we take one guest, one topic, and just talk about it until we run out of steam. If that sounds like something you would like, check out our YouTube channel where we've got all of our clips from previous shows. Subscribe to us on Twitch where we stream on both Thursdays and Sundays. On YouTube, we stream the Thursday show. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates on what we're doing. You can buy a zine of fan fiction of our wonderful hosts, and you can buy our Jackson the Cat mascot stickers.
These are all over Manchester. You can find the bus route I take home if you follow them enough.
Don't tell people that you've left a trail back to your house, Tom. That's
I get lost.
How you
I get lost. I get lost, and I need to find my way home. So I follow my own cat. It's
like Hansel and Gretel, but with cat stickers. We also have a Discord, so if you want more of this nonsense, you can just come and chat to us, and we'll be around. I think that's everything.
I think that's it. Also, Vampire Squid, which is the website that we write for and that this has been co-produced by. And check them out. They are amazing, and they've let us do this. They've trusted 2 absolute idiots with it, so well done. Well, 1 idiot and Kirstie. And also, obviously, buy tickets to Grimmfest Easter Horror Nights. This is they usually run in October, but Grimmfest usually runs in October. This is the first time doing an Easter festival, and it is an outstanding lineup. It's absolutely worth it. The Notorious are having good chat and all the nice little extras. It actually films like a film festival, even though you're in your living room. I can't recommend it enough, and it's always good. So just do it. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably already have, but if not, do it. It's just that simple. And watch all these shorts. It's free. No excuse.
Thanks again to all of our wonderful guests for coming on the show, and thanks to everyone who's been watching at home, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon.
Bye.